Good morning. February 14th, Valentine's Day. I'd like to wish my wife a happy Valentine's Day. 25 years now of her being my Valentine, so I guess she's reached official keeper status. So, man, we've had an amazing journey and looking forward to what's to come. So, God has blessed us in so many different ways, and man, life just continues to get better. I believe the more that you have more faith in what you're doing and the people around you and what God's doing in your lives, it can just be an amazing journey. There's still challenges and ups and downs, and you have to deal with. It doesn't get rid of any of that, but man, I seen a piece on Roseanne Barr last night on Tucker Carlson, and she was talking about how when she pretty much got canceled by the entertainment industry, how God was the her faith in God was what pulled her through that, and it's pulled her through other things in her life. And I thought that was just a nice testament to what faith can do, when especially when you need it in challenging moments. So, but here we are, day 13, turning my book into a journey. What are we talking about this week? Yesterday I talked about the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe they had a bigger mountain to climb than Kansas City Chiefs, because it had to be a bigger deal to them than it was Kansas City. I'm not saying it wasn't a big deal to Kansas City. I'm just saying when you've been there, done something, it's a different feeling. It's a different uh, um, environment that you're in versus if you hadn't been there, done that. If you're climbing a mountain and you haven't ever done it before, on the way up, the things that you're experiencing are different than if you've already done it before. It's just a fact. So within that, what is some of the things that we can lessons that we can take away? What effect does a big deal have on us? And I believe it brings a lot of resistance. It brings challenges. It makes it tougher for a period of time. And then once that big deal effect is balanced out, then we start to see some of that resistance released, and often we'll see a big breakthrough um, very soon down the road. So I see it happen over and over again. But one of the pieces of this process that I think you have to understand, it can go one of two ways: how you process, how you interpret those challenges when they come. When you have made tremendous growth in what you're doing, can either lead to um, we had a discussion yesterday about bad luck with some of the guys that I work with, and I think if you're putting everything into what you're doing, I don't believe in bad luck. I believe there's a process that we go through, and but here's the catch 22: if we label it, if we define it as bad luck, I think we can actually create bad luck by defining things in that manner. So I think we have to be careful and how we process and how we interpret these challenges and resistance that pop up when we have had so much physical growth on paper is very important. So I challenge people, if you are working hard, if you have a lot of growth on paper, but you're still not getting that end result, reaching that final goal that you're trying to reach, then what you're going through is natural. It's not bad luck. It's not that you're doing something wrong. And a lot of people, when this happens, they'll start to. And I love to analyze. I love to analyze. I think there's a lot we can learn. I think there's things we can learn by analyzing in the moments where there is resistance and challenge. It can allow us to see things that we can't when things are good and we're overlooking things. But at the same time, I think we have to be careful not to get into this perspective that, oh, well, if we just did this, then the challenge or the resistance wouldn't have popped up. It's just like looking at the Super Bowl and going, well, if Jalen Hurts wouldn't have fumbled, you know, I believe in those moments when there's challenge, when there's resistance, it's not just a matter of changing one thing. If you'd have changed that thing, then resistance would have popped up in another area. It's like having a garden hose that's got too much pressure on it and it pops a leak, and you go, oh, okay, if we fix this spot in the hose, then we're going to be good. But you got to fix that spot, and another one pops up, and you fix that one, and another one pops up. So in that moment, in this period of time that you're going through, where those challenges are popping up, you can't, it's not a matter of just, well, if we'd have did this different. No, understand it's part of the process. But I've seen people go through this and they process it and interpret it in a healthy manner. And it actually, when they do have their breakthrough, it creates an even greater effect, which leads to even greater breakthroughs and results. So there can be a silver lining, but I've seen it go the other way too. I've seen people define themselves as, oh, they're the people that bad things happen to, they have bad luck. And I think once you go down that road, you can actually, your identity can become that. So you have to, there is some risk, there is some dangerous waters you have to navigate here. So, man, I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. If you got a Valentine, make sure you tell them and tell them that you appreciate them and stay on the good side. You guys have a great Tuesday, and I will see you back here in the morning.